Welcome to the 2024 ODAC and USA South Football Conference's weekly video review. In these videos, we'll review plays from the past week to better our officiating as an association. Let's get to it. Let's start this week's review with an onside kick. Let's review our responsibilities on this play. First thing we notice is we have 10 R players within 12 yards of R's restraining line. This is a cue that they're preparing for an onside kick, so let's better position ourselves on the field to make a good judgment on this play. Notice our short wings are now at the 40-yard line, splitting the restraining lines of both K and R in anticipation of the onside kick. As the kick is about to occur, our back judge and our umpire have K's restraining line. Here, the threshold for offsides on K is that we treat that restraining line as if it is a pane of glass. If anyone breaks that pane, then all of a sudden we have a foul for offsides on the kicking team. Our short wings have primary responsibility on blocking by both teams. K cannot initiate a block on an R team member until they are eligible to touch the ball. Here we notice the ball does not go 10 yards, and we see a K player engage in a block right about the 45-yard line. We should have a foul on this play for an illegal block. Our deep wings are looking for touching by both teams. If R touches the ball prior to K touching the ball, everyone becomes eligible to both block and recover the ball. Here, though, we notice that K touches the ball prior to the ball going 10 yards. This is a violation for illegal touching, and you should have a beanbag down to note the spot. For onside kicks, recognize the potential for the situation. Put yourself in the best position to officiate the play. Understand your responsibilities and what you should be watching for. And make sure you see every aspect of the play. In addition, once we have touching of the ball, we should wind the clock, and then we can stop it once we have a recovery on the ground. Let's take a look at a free kick play. And let's monitor the behavior of this player. On free kick plays, I've highlighted the area between the 25 and the 45. This is what we would call our engagement zone, or the area of the field where a majority of the K and R players are going to interact for the first time. This is the area of the field where we have to take into consideration the types of fouls that may occur when those players interact, including but not limited to holding, blocks in the back, illegal wedges, and blindside blocks. Now, let's further investigate the contact by the player on the receiving team. During this play, we'll notice that most players are getting in a settled position where they're looking for a player on K to block in anticipation of a long return for their deep man. But number 20 takes a path almost parallel to the goal line immediately upon turning around. When he follows through and makes contact with this player does not actually see the block coming. If we are paying attention and monitoring our engagement zone, we would have a good look on the action by this receiving team member, and we'd be able to make a great call on this blindside block. On this play, we're going to talk about blocking below the waist. Watch number 7 on this play. Prior to the snap, 7 is a stationary back. Since he's lined up inside the tackle box, meaning that at least part of his body is within the frame of the tackle on his side of the quarterback, he is legally allowed to block a defender below the waist under the conditions that the ball is still inside the tackle box and the contact on the defender is directed from the front. At the snap, number 7 moves to the right and goes low on a defender from the front. This is a legal block below the waist. But as our quarterback moves outside, number 7 again goes low on the defender. Now that the ball has left the tackle box, 7 is no longer eligible to have a block below the waist. This second block is a foul for an illegal block below the waist. This is a great pickup by a referee. Prior to the snap, our umpires and referees should be communicating who is eligible to block below the waist and monitor the status of those players and the ball throughout the play to make sure that you have a correct call. Here's an instance where we could have an illegal block below the waist by a defender. At the snap, defensive players who line up within 1 yard of the line of scrimmage may legally block below the waist in the tackle box on their initial line charge. All other Team B players are not allowed to block below the waist except against a runner. On this play, our defender, originally in pass coverage, recognizes size mismatch and decides to go low on this block. Our back judge, monitoring his area of the field correctly, is able to get the flag down on this play. Blocking below the waist by a Team B player, something we have to monitor for when they're away from the ball. Stay in your areas of coverage, and as you monitor the field, if you see a block go low, make sure you get a flag down. When in doubt, it is an illegal block below the waist. Let's take a look at a situational play. On this play, we have a defender enter the neutral zone. Immediately afterwards, the threatened offensive player reacts, creating a foul for your defensive offsides. We probably get the flag down and we have a good enforcement. But situationally, we need to know where we are on the field. This is a 3rd and 5. So the potential for the offense to use their cadence to draw the defense offside is very high. The wing official on the change side of the field should always know if we're in a short 5 situation, especially in 3rd and 4th down plays. We could quickly communicate this information and get the foul marked off. By understanding and identifying where you are in the field, you can anticipate this type of play, get the flag down, and quickly move the chains for our first down. On this play, we're looking at a situation where we could have disconcerting signals by the defense. The defender of interest is the outside linebacker hovering near the 30-yard marker at the top of the screen. Watch what he does in a second. Now watch the cadence by the quarterback here on the offense. If we recognize this first time, let's get a flag down, communicate with the defense what they did incorrectly. While I'm sure this player is just getting pumped up, his clapping sound could cause a false start by the offense, an unintended consequence, but something that would be an advantage for the defense. If we don't get a flag down, let's make sure we communicate with this player to make sure that he does not do that action again near the line of scrimmage. I'm including this play to make sure that we're following our ABCs. We'll always be counting out there on the field. Following the 2-minute timeout, our offense comes onto the field with 12 players in formation. In a normal scrimmage situation, while players are subbing on and off, it's easy to keep track of 2 players going off, 2 players going on the field. But anytime we have a dead ball situation in which the players are allowed to leave the field, so team timeouts, injury timeouts, let's make sure we get a solid count before we even blow the ready for play whistle and prevent a situation like this from happening. Communicate with teams, communicate with coaches to make sure that everyone is on the same page and we can get this play off. That wraps it up for the week 1 video review. Remember, we like to highlight rules, mechanics, and unusual situations in these videos. If you have a play, feel free to forward it my way to be in consideration for that week's review. Thanks everyone, and good luck in week 2.